Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for May 26th, read by Scott B. from Detroit, Michigan. AA thoughts for the day. Honesty. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 58. Thought to consider. Every recovery from alcoholism began with one sober hour. Acronyms. God. Give others dignity. Just for today. Completeness. From into action. This is perhaps difficult, especially discussing our defects with another person. We think that we have done well enough in admitting these things to ourselves. In actual practice, we usually find a solitary self-appraisal is insufficient. Many of us have thought it necessary to go much further. We would be more reconciled to discussing ourselves with another person when we see good reason why we should do so. The best reason first. If we skip this vital step, we may not overcome drinking. Time after time, newcomers have tried to keep to themselves certain facts about their lives. Almost invariably, they got drunk. Having persevered with the rest of the program, they wondered why they fell. We think the reason is that they never completed their house cleaning. They took their inventory all right, but hung on to some of the worst items in stock. They'd only thought they had lost their egoism and fear. They only thought that they had humbled themselves. But they had not learned enough humility, fearlessness, and honesty in the sense we find it necessary until they told someone else all their life story. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 72 and 73. Daily Reflections. Turning negative to positive. Our spiritual and emotional growth in AA does not depend so deeply upon success as it does upon our failures and setbacks. If you will bear this in mind, I think that your slip will have the effect of kicking you upstairs instead of down. As Bill sees it, page 184. In keeping with the pain and adversity which our founders encountered and overcame in establishing AA, Bill W. set us a clear message. A relapse can provide a positive experience toward abstinence and a lifetime of recovery. A relapse brings truth to what we hear repeatedly in meetings. Don't take the first drink. It reinforces the belief in the progressive nature of the disease, and it drives home the need for, and beauty of, humility in our spiritual program. Simple truths come in complicated ways when I become ego-driven. As Bill sees it. Do as I do. Perhaps more often than we think, we make no contact at depth with alcoholics who are suffering the dilemma of no faith. Certainly, none are more sensitive to spiritual cocksureness, pride, and aggression than they are. I'm sure this is something we too often forget. In AA's first years, I all but ruined the whole undertaking with this sort of unconscious arrogance. God, as I understood him, had to be for everybody. Sometimes my aggression was subtle, sometimes it was crude. But either way, it was damaging, perhaps fatally so, to numbers of non-believers. Of course, this sort of thing isn't confined to 12-step work. It is very apt to leak out into our relations with everybody. Even now, I catch myself chanting the same old barrier-building refrain, do as I do, believe as I do, or else. Grapevine, April 1961. Big Book quote. To get over drinking will require a transformation of thought and attitude. We all have had to place recovery above everything, for without recovery, we would have lost both home and business. Alcoholics Anonymous, to the Employers, page 143. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. In 12-step work, the fourth thing is conversion. Conversion means change. Prospects must learn to change their way of thinking. Until now, everything they've done has been connected with drinking. Now they must face a new kind of life without liquor. They must see and admit that they cannot overcome drinking by their own willpower. So they must turn to a higher power for help. They must start each day by asking this higher power for the strength to stay sober. This conversion to belief in a higher power comes gradually, as they try it and find that it works. Do I care enough about other alcoholics to help them make this conversion? Meditation for the day. Discipline of yourself is absolutely necessary before the power of God is given to you. When you see others manifesting the power of God, you probably have not seen the discipline that went before. They made themselves ready. All your life is a preparation for more good to be accomplished when God knows that you are ready for it. So keep disciplining yourself in the spiritual life every day. Learn so much of the spiritual laws that your life cannot again be a failure. Others will see the outward manifestation of the inward discipline in your daily living. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may manifest God's power in my daily living. I pray that I may discipline myself so as to be ready to meet every opportunity. Hazelton Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota 55012. My name is Scott, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952 through 2001.